How many of you, when you walk into a bank or a credit union, were asked about what you care about? Or asked about where you give money? Show of hands. Has anyone, when you walked into your bank, did they ask you, instead of just your risk and your return, did they ask what kind of impact you want to have in your portfolio? That's the opportunity. What Joanna has said around each one of us, are saving. Hopefully we're saving more. I know when you're in school it's a bit tough. But we're saving some money. All of us now are increasingly making conscious choices around how we shop, the kinds of companies we're affiliated with or want to work for. But what about our investments? So that's another big opportunity, as Joanna already mentioned. And we won't steal RBC's thunder because they're actually doing some stuff. But, what if you walked into your bank and you got asked, what do you care about? What are you already donating to? How would you like to invest in those kinds of causes? Well, today the average financial doesn't think you care. You're investing in all the things that you're investing in, and you're looking at fees, etc. So that's one of the really big, exciting opportunities for everybody here to essentially become an impact investor. So what we do as a firm is that we work with foundations, as I mentioned, to actually help them deploy more of their assets in ways, towards social ventures, towards funds. David will talk a little bit about them. The other thing that we do is to come up with new kinds of products or strategies. So we work with governments, for example, to help them come up with new models that allow finance and investments to be directed in ways that are actually beneficial to society. Typically that's what government does. We help them do it better. We also help financial institutions think about new products and services. We're working with, for example, the credit union sector right now to look at, if credit unions were to develop products for each one of you that reflect the values and the mission that you might have as a person, whether you care about the environment or affordable housing, etc. How do you invest in that way? One of the interesting pieces about this space is because it's fairly new. As an advisory firm, we've been around for about 5 years, and this market is still fairly young in that way. We're actually trying to serve a market while we're helping to build it. So, in many other industries, when you think about an established market, it's really great because you know who the players are, you know what you're supposed to do, you know how you compete. When you are essentially first mover, there's all the advantages that first movers have, but there's also the disadvantages. You're basically creating a field, you're working with new players in new ways, etc. So I think for many of you that are also thinking about careers and how you work and potentially things that you might start yourself, this is an exciting time to be involved in this space because all of us who've been around in the space for a few years, we're actively creating the market we want to be part of over the next few years. Suggest the opportunities available to you guys. You can't say that in many other fields. So I think that's quite interesting. How do we work as a financial intermediary, in between those that have capital and those that are looking for capital? So I outlined a few of those areas. I think one of the ways is just reducing the barriers to getting started. Today the average foundation tends to have a very conservative investment committee. We typically work with them. I was just actually off of a call immediately before this talking to an investment committee about how they might think about aligning their assets towards mission. It usually takes a lot of time to convince someone who is from the conventional financial space that you can actually make money by investing in social ventures. There's a whole range of evidence now that shows that increasingly these kinds of investments are not correlated with traditional markets. And particularly at a time like this, that's actually a really good thing.